In this episode, I'll just like to indulge into a miasma of assumptions, and let me begin this broadcast by stating that Honorable Oscar Sudi may pretend to be a fool, but guess what? This man is very much far from being one. Going by the fact that Honorable Oscar Sudi is a political non-starter, but guess what? He went beyond Kenyans' expectations to go ahead and predict of Rigath's impeachment, and that it would have come to its penultimate cause in a duration of two weeks. And guess what? It did happen. What does this clearly tell you? It clearly tells you how connected the guy is to the system. Of course, very many Kenyans may have viewed this man to be a fool, or even to some extent, many think that this guy is stupid due to his levels of illiteracy. But from where I sit, I strongly believe the guy is one among the many Kalenjin mafias of the Kenya Kwanza regime. Because regarding his impeachment, it first did start as rumors in the court of public opinion. But guess what? In a dint of a fiat, he had posted on his Facebook and Twitter account that in just 2 weeks, Rigath's case would have already been sealed. And guess what? In a dint of a fiat, it did materialize as per his prediction. What does that clearly tell you? It clearly tells you that Honorable Oscar Sudi has the president's ear at hand, and he is very much well connected to the system of the current regime. And one thing that I've really observed from Honorable Oscar Sudi is that he may be uneducated, but he is very much far from being a fool. And in matters education, even he himself is alive to the cognizant fact that he never went to school. And just by he admitting, I don't know if that is what gives him the courage to steer on and on and on, because in this life there's nothing as good as one accepting facts as they are. Then you begin finding your solution out of the problem. And if by chance we are just to be honest with ourselves, then let me ask you this: why would a purported fool be a president's trustee? And to some extent, how would a purported fool be or work very close with a president of the current regime? And this goes to all those who've been thinking that Honorable Oscar Sudi is a fool. And all those, or even you who are listening to me, if by any chance you've been underestimating Honorable Oscar Sudi, I kid you not, you could be wrong. Imagine a fool having the president's ear whenever he needs to address him. Where has that really happened in this world? And in fact, if I'm to speculate further, I always see a string of possibilities that Honorable Oscar Sudi could be the one running the kitchen cabinet of President William Samoei Ruto. And maybe President William Samoei Ruto loves Oscar Sudi due to his two characters. One, maybe he could be very secretive, and two, just because he is a very good mobilizer. And this comes despite the fact that you and I know that Oscar Sudi is very incompetent. And in fact, if I look at Honorable Oscar Sudi's character, then this clearly reminds me of the character of the late President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. Simply because when Moi immediately assumed power, the Mount Kenya Mafias saw him as a fool and illiterate to some extent that they did dismiss him, calling him a passing cloud. But guess what? Moi had to play foolish, but in real sense, he was pretty smart to an extent that he had to dismiss all the Mount Kenya Mafias of overthrowing his government to an extent that it will go down in history as the only longest serving president of Kenya, because Moi had to dismiss the Mount Kenya Mafias to an extent that he ruled for 24 years. So to them, he looked foolish, exactly the same way people see Honorable Oscar Sudi. But guess what? They are very much far from being fools, because from physical appearance, they may look foolish, but they are strategic wise, they are pretty much smarter. And as I come to the penultimate part of this episode, that has just been my opinion. If by any chance you do have a contrary opinion to mine, you can as well feel free to drop them in the comment section and I'll give them a right of reply. And by any chance, if you've been watching my videos and you have not subscribed, you can as well consider hitting on the subscribe button. Thank you, and may God bless you.